Hey everyone, it's Pastor Garrett here, and also Amos, my dog, the pastoral pup here at Linwood. I wanted to make a short video to reach out to you on behalf of the leadership here at Linwood Reformed Church and let you know that you are thought of, that you are cared for, that you are remembered in our prayers, and we love you. I also wanted to make a short video to remind you and invite you into the Lenten prayer practice that we have been observing and following throughout our 40-day journey of Lent. It's called 40 Days of Prayer. Very self-explanatory. What it is 40 days of different prayers we want to lift up for the spiritual life of us personally and also for us as a congregation. It's also about the health and well-being of our community in towns and villages and state and country and world as well. And so if that interests you and you want to join us as a community in doing that, if you want to join me and Amos, what you can do, you might have already picked up a calendar at church, but I will supply a link in the description below, and in that link you can click it and it will take you to the Google Sheets document where you can download it and print it off and join us. It is never too late, and there is no shame in joining halfway through. What matters is us coming before God in prayer and joining our hearts together. So this week specifically, the theme is for the whole church's life and witness. And I want to invite you to pray for that. Now you might say, Garrett, there's so much that we can be praying for. Why just the church? And I get it. There are so many people and places and things that we should be lifting up. But I want to invite you to lift up the church and focus part of your heart's attention in prayer to God on that. Because we live in a really complex moment. A new territory for us all. A reality that has made us aware of just how interconnected and linked we are as one humanity in a global society. And I believe in the deepest parts of me that what the world needs now is for the church to be a bold, faithful representation of the love of God that we see and learn about in Jesus Christ. And if there's one thing that I think I've learned about the church throughout its years of existence, is that it is stronger and more united and passionate when it is moved toward mercy and in putting that into action for people, for all people, without exception or precondition, but just based on the fact that all of life and every life is sacred. And so while you or me, we go about our day doing what we can in our little slice of this world and part of this world, expansive and wonderful world, I want to invite you to pause and draw a breath and take a moment to move into the presence of God, who is always near. I want you to lift up your mind and your heart and your words to God for the rest of the church across the world. The small and the large communities of faith, the new ones who are just starting and the ones that have been in existence for so long, the church communities that are really trying to figure out how to respond presently in this crisis, and the ones that are acting like well-oiled machines. Pray for all of the church, striving to figure out what it looks like and to be a living, breathing, witnessing, working, compassionate representation of Jesus in this world. As you do so, I want to lift up some suggestions, 2 of them. One for the church's life and witness during this crisis, and also the church's life and witness for things that persist in the face of this crisis and that are still as important. So first, I want to stir your mind by inviting you to lift up the church communities who are responding in the ways that we're responding to COVID-19. Lift up in prayer the work of of communities that are comforting people amidst distress and anxiety and loneliness, depression and financial burden. Lift up communities finding ways to connect with congregants of every age through worship and faith formation. Lift up communities grocery shopping for the elderly because it's safer for them to remain indoors. Lift up churches that are trying to figure out how to provide childcare so that families and parents don't have to choose between getting a paycheck and watching their children. Lift up communities that are trying to figure out how to feed kids who find their one meal every day by going to school and who now are no longer at school for an indefinite period of time. Lift up communities of faith caring for their own and those who are sick, even though it means risking infection for themselves. Also, pray against the pride and vanity that can come in these moments where we can be self-seeking and tempted to do good things just for the sake of appearance. Pray against that, but pray for humility, for the Holy Spirit to shape our hearts humbly with a bold and faithful, loving vision how to care for people that really shows people that God is still ruling and caring for this world. Secondly, I invite you to lift up prayers for the church's life and witness across this world that relates to the things that are persisting and are still important while this virus is going on. Lift up and pray for those who are sharing the good news about Jesus with others so that they might experience the freedom and peace and joy that comes with knowing him. Lift up those people who are still nurturing the faith of others so that people in their faith journey can withstand the storms of life and be anchored in the knowledge and love of God. Pray for the people in the communities that are helping to drill wells so that people can access clean water or provide medical care or helping children receive access to education. Pray for communities that are doing the good work of helping to support women at pregnancy centers and who are at risk. Pray for those churches who are standing on the brink of conflict, whether by war or racial tension, ethnic division, what have you, to create a presence of peace. And lastly, lift up and pray that our church might be humble enough to support and partner with and work alongside organizations and governments and movements that seek to benefit the lives of all people and this world that we love so much, because they are doing the work of Jesus, even if their name doesn't say church in it. I hope that these reflections stir thoughts for you as you enter prayer and seek to draw close to God. In all, be well, be wise about how you care for yourself, be creative in how you care for others. Peace.